right, it's 7:30. Let's do it. Nodding, I'm nodding.
Okay, ready? Facing the boss?
Let's do it. Adonai Oz, Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yivarek et Amo. Adonai Oz, Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yivarek et Amo. Shalom. Shalom. Adonai Uz, Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yivarek et Amo. Adonai Uz, Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yivarek et Amo. Shalom. Shalom. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending this lay-led service while Jason and Lindy are still in Israel.
No, they're not in Israel.
They're back home, but
They're
they
on
are not here.
vacation.
They are on vacation this week. And my name is Jerome Peer, and I'm leading the service. And we have Deborah Blinder, and we have Beth Sanders here helping accompany us. So please be patient with us. We're doing the best we can. So it is our custom at the beginning of each service to create a Kehillah Kedusha, a holy community, by greeting one another and introducing ourselves to those we do not know. So please get up and, or for our friends at home, open your chat and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. We'll give you about 2 minutes. We don't want to spend too much time here. We got to get home eventually. So. And Shabbat Shalom. Thanks.
Shabbat shalom.
Feels good. So we're adding the Muslim family. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, boss.
There'll be plenty more chances to chat at Oneg. So let's go ahead and take our seats whenever we can. It's been at least 3 to 4 minutes. It's okay. We like it. It's a pretty good Kehillah Kedosha.
This is what happens when you give Jews permission
That's
to
right.
talk.
Everybody. Good to see you. Okay, let's turn to page 8 in our prayer book. And in loving memory of Rachel Nasanau, we would like to invite Karma and Hallie and the Nasanau family up to light Shabbat candles. Come on up. What could go wrong? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner, Shabbat. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai Hamevorah. Baruch Adonai Hamevorah. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lalai. 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 Yalalai lalai.
Put them in the right key.
We're not very smooth, but we have a heart of gold. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Boreol balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, verchoshech mipnei or.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
And we
We will-
continue at the top of page 10, chanting Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha b'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam b'shivtecha b'vetecha uvlechtecha v'derech Uv'shofecha uv'kumecha Uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha Ve'hayu letotafot Ve'neinecha Uv'shartam u'mezuzet betecha Uv'isharecha Leman tizkeru V'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohehem. Ani Adonai Elohehem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohehem.
And we turn to page 11 for Michal Mocha. The Debbie Friedman, number 1.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha le'etar ba'kodesh. Norah tehilot. Osei feleh. Osei feleh. Well, that was a bit of a mess.
We got through it.
Yeah.
All right. right, we
We
turn,
continue on the bottom of on the middle of page 11. No, that's not right. We continue on the middle of page
12 with Shelter Us, Hashkivenu. Keeping Beth busy.
Sing loud.
Oh, they're doing a good job. I'm hearing it up here. Thank you so much. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, lehamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 I like the country feel on that. That's pretty good. Okay, and now on to page 13 with the Debbie Friedman #1 Vishamru. Keeping up with all the greatest hits.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, berit olam, b'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam, berit olam, b'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti, oti leolam. Oti, oti leolam. Oti, oti leolam. Those who are able, please rise for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tivta ufi agita hilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch
והנורא העליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מחלל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך מתמיד ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ולמען אתה לך חיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יעלו לסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. You knew what to do. Repeat after me. Let's read together. Ritzei Adonai.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Yisrael, utfilatam be'ahavat tikabel, utfilaratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Be gracious, O Lord our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. May our worship always be acceptable to you. Modim anachnu lach, sha'atahu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, le'olam va'ed. Surchayenu, magen yishenu, atahu l'dor v'dor. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks.
And now we turn to page 16 for Shalom Rav, the waltz version. We're keeping Beth busy tonight. You're doing great. Capo 4, everybody. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Israel, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav,
תובענך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Beautiful. Okay. And now for all of you, it's time to do a little bit of meditation. We will do the prayer of the heart. So spend a few minutes, just quietly meditate. Think about the past week and the week that is to come, all the good things that have happened to you this week. Just take a little time to meditate. And if you don't know what to meditate on, we have some really wonderful readings on page 17. And then we will be back with you with Eli, Eli. the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. Thank you, Beth. That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Now is the time for my very first Devar Torah. So get ready, folks. And actually, some of the country guitar playing kind of fits in pretty well with this Devar Torah. So just stick with me. So when Karma asked, she sent me an email. She said, asked me if I was comfortable writing a Devar Torah for this week's service. And I said, yeah, sure, why not, right? How many 13-year-olds have done this? I mean, I can do it too. It's got to be easy, right? Well, then I started reading this week's portion. It turns out it's a double portion. I said yes, and before I really looked at what I was going to get myself into. So that's how I roll. I started reading this week's portion, and then some of the commentaries that have been written is a double portion. Did I say that already? It's a double portion. I began to panic. Yikes. There's a lot of material here, and it's all over the place. It's, did I say it was a double portion? Covers a lot of ground, and so I'm skimming it, I'm reading through it, and I'm going, it's very unfocused. I mean, what am I going to pick out of this? And actually, I'll be honest with you, some of it made me very, very uncomfortable. There's a lot of really gory stuff in there that kind of freaked me out. And then a lot of the commentaries didn't really resonate with me. So I had this escape plan that I'm like, oh, heck, I'll just pick a commentary and read it. And just verbatim, But I didn't like any of them. So as I went back to the beginning of this week's portion, there's the very first lines. The very first lines of the whole portion from Matot are, Moses spoke to the heads of the Israelite tribes, saying, this is what Adonai has commanded. If a householder makes a vow to the Eternal or takes an oath imposing an obligation on himself, he shall not break his pledge. He must carry out all that has crossed his lips. I'm like, oh no. There's no way I can get out of it now. I mean, so karma's not Adonai, right? And I said it in an email, so it didn't really cross my lips, but these are technicalities. So I'm stuck. I really have to write this Devar Torah. So it's time to get back to the commentaries, and I dug in. So my first challenge is out of all this, did I say it was a double portion? It's a big, big amount of material. I had to pick something out of there, and let me set it up. What's going on in this portion is that we're at the end of the book of Numbers, and there's all this anticipation and turmoil as the Israelites are preparing to cross the River Jordan to enter the Promised Land. So this is a very big, dramatic moment. And we're going to skip over a lot of the gory parts, as I talked about earlier, where the Israelites have to clear out the Midianites. I'm currently reading Homer's The Iliad. Don't ask me why. And this week's portion is just about as nasty as that. So we're going to skip over that part. I didn't want to focus on that. There has to be something in this portion, these double portions, that it resonates with me. So there were a couple that focused on this one section, 32:1, that resonated with me, and it's the conflict between Moses and the Reubenites and the Gadites. And these are two of the 12 tribes of Israel. So let me set it up for you. Moses is directing the 12 tribes to remove the local inhabitants from the Promised Land west of the Jordan River. And things are going pretty well with the military campaign, but it's quite complex, and Moses is really stressed out. He's basically herding cats. Okay, we got 12 tribes. they've all got their own ideas, and it's really hard to get them to focus. So even worse, along comes these two cowboy tribes, and that's why I kind of like how Beth was strumming. It sounded pretty cowboy to me. So we got the Reubenites and the Gadites. They got a lot of cows, and they love their cows pretty much. And they come up to Moses and they go, "Hey, Moses, Promised Land is great and all. We're looking across the river, but from what we've seen, it's pretty crummy cattle grazing ground. The land of the east of the Jordan River is a lot better for our cattle. So if it's all right with you, we're just going to stay here while y'all go on ahead to Israel." And I would guess that they probably didn't talk like that, but being cow people, they probably had a little bit of twang going. Well, Moses loses it. I mean, he's just like, no way. Wait, I got to have all the tribes together. He's doing everything he can to keep all these tribes going in the same direction. I mean, he's been having troubles ever since, and the only thing he can think about is getting into the Promised Land. His whole life has been focused on this. And now these cowboys are coming to him and saying that they don't want to go. They're just going to stick out over here and feed their cattle. Well, forget it. Moses is also suffering a little bit of PTSD from the last time he let the tribes do their own thing with that scouting adventure, which maybe some of you remember, where they ended up wandering around in the desert for 40 years. God punished them. So he's like, no, we're not splitting up again, you guys. Forget it. You got to stick with us or you're in big trouble. So he's not going to let this happen, and he needs cooperation from all the tribes to successfully complete this campaign to rid Israel of all their enemies before they can settle once and for all. Well, the cowboys see that Moses is pretty upset, and they know that they need to compromise. And so they think about it for a while, and they go, okay, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave our families behind and get them settled on our cattle ground on the east side of the river, and then we will lead the incursion. We'll be at the very front, and we will be the shock troops. I had to go look up what shock troops mean. But shock troops, basically the expert, the crack force that goes in at the front of the charge. And so they would go in and be the shock troops and lead the charge into the Promised Land. But they would leave their families behind. They would fight, and they do everything they can to clean up the west side of the river, so that all of the rest of the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes, could go settle. And then as soon as everything was cool, then they would go back to their cattle and their families. Yes, they're more focused on their cattle, of course. But what I liked about this section, and it wasn't just about the cows, what I really liked about this section was the whole idea of compromise and the art of compromise, and it's something that I really enjoy, is trying to look for a win-win solution. And that's what really spoke to me, is that in the middle of all this turmoil, they had this ability to negotiate and to come out with a solution that worked for everybody. So we each have our own motivations, desires, and needs, and they don't always align with our families and friends. But just by taking a little bit of time to seeing opposing ideas and changing our behavior to fit someone else's needs, we can often get what we desire as well. And we can go from conflict to resolution and achieve a win-win. And so this reminded me of my time on the Temple Board of Directors. And Carmen and I, I'd been on the board for quite some time. It was getting towards the end of my term. And Carmen and I, we would meet and we would be frustrated that we had a hard time getting working committees. We were getting great attendance at board meetings. People were coming and were voting and were doing all this stuff, but we had no one on committees. And we knew that committees were an important way of getting work done for leadership. And so it was really frustrating for us. So we went together to a URG leadership conference, and we heard there was a consultant that was speaking, and she talked about the importance, how important committee work was, and we knew that. But she also said that monthly board meetings were the death of leadership, and that really monthly meetings weren't what it was all about. It was getting your committees going. And so we had this idea. Suddenly it dawned on both of us that, okay, if we had to get everybody to join a committee, no one's going to really want to do it if they have to go to an extra meeting, besides the monthly meetings. But if she's saying that monthly meetings are the death of service, we just cut out one of those meetings and we make it for committee work. So basically they won't have to do any extra work. They just come, like they've been used to coming every Tuesday, once a month, but instead of doing a board meeting, we're doing a committee meeting that time. And so that was just the stroke that we had. And then we thought about it and we said, well, we'll give them a choice. Here's the committees. You've got to be on a committee. You don't have a choice. But you get to choose what committee you want to be on. And so everyone wrote down their preferences, 1, 2, and 3 of what they wanted to do. And it was really neat how it all fell out that all of the board members, they got their first pick. And so everyone was happy, and they didn't have to do any extra work. And now we went from 0 to 5 thriving committees. We have 5 committees, isn't it? We went from 0 to 5, and I'm proud to say that they're still active today. And it was just through a little bit of thought and compromise, trying to think of what the needs of our board members were to get what we wanted and to give them what they needed as well. And I hope that if you're on a committee on the board, that you find the committee work is good and helps you do a better job for us. So really that whole experience was a win-win as far as I was concerned, and that's what spoke to me out of this portion. So in conclusion, we all have things we desire for ourselves, but just taking a few minutes to look at an opponent's point of view and kind of changing your mind just a little bit to see if you can meet halfway and reach a compromise, and you can get to a win-win solution every time. Thank you very much. And now, we are ready to do the Torah service. And we turn to page 20. And those who are able, please rise. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, U'devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushat Tov. Beit Yaakov lehu v'nolcha, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of our God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo. All right. Have a fun march. And now we're going to sing Sweet as Honey. It's coming, it's coming. We're not professionals, okay? We're just amateurs. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Sweet as honey, sweet as Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach, Jerome, and an early Yasher Koach. What a lovely service. Thank you so much for being here this evening. So, as Jerome said, it's a double portion. Did we get that?
Exhausting.
And it is also the end of the book of, in Hebrew, Bamidbar, in English, the book of Numbers. And whenever we finish a book of the Torah, the reading of a book of a Torah, after the reading, there is a custom that as a community, we chant these words. Try them with me. Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazeh. And we chant it, it sounds like this. Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazeh. Which means be strong, and we will be strengthened. And so I hope that you will join me in chanting Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek as we finish the book of Bamidbar. And I also hope you'll take a look at the scroll. When we're done reading, Jerome is going to lift it and turn around, and he'll have it open so we can see. This is one of the few places in the scroll where you'll actually see a space with no words. And that's the separation between the two books. And being the geek that I am, and I use that term as most definitely a compliment, I thought that since we're finishing the book of Numbers, I would invite my friend, the mathematician, Albert Greer, to have the honor of tonight's Aliyah. So Albert, please join us on the bima. Sure, that'd be great. And where am I? I'm here.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Vahed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacharanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vatiyana machla tirza v'chogla umilka v'notzlavchad livnei dodehen lenashim mimishpechot b'nei Menashe ben Yosef hayud lenashim v'tihi nachalatan al matei mishpachat avihen. Ele hamitzvot v'hamishpatim asher tziva Adonai beyad Moshe el bnei Yisrael ba'arvot Moav al Yarden Yericho Chazak Chazak Venit Chazeh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natat b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Karma. Okay. Each week, we offer prayers of healing for our family and friends. To our friends at home, if you have loved ones who are sick or ailing, please share their names in the chat now so that they may be included in our prayers. As a community this week, we are praying for, and you have the list,
I do.
Christina Vogel, Matt Malote, Raquel Lipkin, Ann Porteous, Diane Dakin, Randy Watkins, Gabby Lopez Smith, Victor Altman, Samantha Porteous, John Kaplan, Barry Klein, Ellen Clore, Brooke Hall, Grimelda Tomaz, Sherilyn Gross, Vicki Linder, Chan Fong, Joseph Mayer, Leslie Hirschfeld, Judith Platt, Sandra Dutcher, Jacob Tannenbaum, Barbara Nachman, Michael Sheets, Jay Bird, Lee M. Ledesma, and Michael Hall. And in the chat,
And we add Cindy McClurg, Lisa Rampola, Diane Short, Don Cordano, Margot Hanscom, and Edgar Harbour, and Mendel Lachtman, and Paul Fireman.
and as my hand passes over, if you have someone that you would like to add to our list.
Jeff Frick, Marilyn Shore.
Oh, we have some more, huh?
Yes, we have
Poor Deborah can barely read them. Who?
Doralee Saxon.
Doralee Saxon.
And I think that's it.
And the Mishak Barak prayer is on page 23. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, and we add to all those names mentioned aloud, all of us here who are in need of these same prayers of refuah hanefesh and refuat haguf, healing of mind, body, and spirit. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh halim, blessed are you, Adonai, healer of the sick. Amen.
And Mendel Lachtman has asked me to announce that she is not sick.
Amen. See, your prayers were answered.
And we are very glad for that.
And hopefully we can heal our country and the state of Israel with a prayer for them on page 23. We read together.
Guardian of life and liberty, grant blessings to our country. Grant our leaders patience and wisdom. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and may we never be lazy in the work of peace. Eternal God, grant blessings to the state of Israel. Protect her people, shelter them with peace, and grant them deliverance from the violence that surrounds them.
May they live in harmony with one another and with their neighbors. May the bonds of faith that unite the Jews of all lands be a source of strength and blessing to each of us and to all the world. And let us say Amen. Amen. Please rise. This is where I do the Hagbah, right? V'zot Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai ve'al Moshe ki lekachto natati lahem Torati al tazovu etzahim hi lemahazikim ba etom hecha neusha derachecha narenoam lechol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Hadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
We continue with the Aleinu on page 25.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol Lateit girla leotzer breshit Shelo asanu kikoye haratzot Velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama Shelo sam kalkeinu kahem Begoraleinu kechol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim Lifnei melech malkei hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. Please be seated. You know what to do. At the conclusion of each of our services, we remember our loved ones who are no longer physically with us, but who, through the gift of memory, live on in our hearts. To our friends at home, if you are in the 30-day period of mourning or in the first year of mourning, please share your loved one's name in the chat so that we may bring their memory into this holy space. And this week, our hearts go out to the Solomon, Guerin, and Utterback families upon the passing of Dick Solomon's brother Larry. May his memory be a blessing. For those in the room, if you are in the 30-day period of mourning or in the first year of mourning, I invite you to stand and share your loved one's name so that we may offer you comfort and support. And we remember these loved ones who have a yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing. Let me read it first. In the week ahead, if I read your loved one's name, please stand so that we may recognize you. We remember with love Guadalupe Andazola, Louis Gluskin, Lynn Apple, Gertrude Corin, Arthur Callot, Paula Marks, Sylvia Marks, David Statner, Jody Amoroso, Kathleen Tratner, Rachel Nassanow, Dorothy Smith, Alvin Davidson, William Massover, Paul Dunn, Herbert Gutman, Dorothy Stein, Thomas Boggs, Harry Kurlander, Lupu Katz, Lillian Giuliano, Albert Levy, Adrian Adina Rose, Alfred Runge, Emmanuel Stein, Shirley Brecker, Randy Berkman, Gerhard Schoenfeld, Mendel Koren, Gary Goldberg, Kat Underwood, Tim Grutman, Jane Sobel, and Norman Weinstein. In the chat,
It doesn't look like we have anyone to add. And we also add Eric Friedman and Craig Corin.
Laura Lippner.
and Laura Lipner. Thank you. Anyone else? Are there any other names that anyone else is? Okay. And as we do each week, remember the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, many leaving no one to say Kaddish for them. We take them into our hearts with our own, and in solidarity with the mourners, we rise physically or spiritually, and together recite the mourners' Kaddish on page 26. Yit Gadol, Vid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma, Divrach, Hirotei, Yamlik Malchutei, V'chayachon, U'meichon, U'vichayek Kol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalav, V'zman Kariv, V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'imramav Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. And I would like to invite our Shabbat host and newly minted president of our Temple Board of Directors, Dave Neustadt, to read our announcements. And congratulations, Dave, on your promotion.
Mazel tov.
Increase my pay?
Yep, double it, yeah, as long
We'll
as it's
even
a
triple it.
multiplier. Oh. Let's do that for you.
Gee, thanks. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Did I hear right? It was a double portion?
It was a double portion and full of cowboys.
Oh, okay. Yeehaw. Thank you to Jerome, Deborah, and Beth for leading service tonight, and thank you to Karma for connecting us with our friends who are celebrating at home. Also, thank you to Beth for all the music. Woohoo! And thank you to Lance and Modang Davidson for donating the beautiful beam of flowers in loving memory of Al Davidson. Our special interest groups are growing: boating on the Delta, bocce ball, bunco, hiking, kayaking the McCollum, and wine tasting are all forming now. Check out our weekly email to find out how you can connect to any or all of these groups. If you'd like to start your own SIG, special interest group, email Steve Jacobs at tistevejacobs@gmail.com or give him a call. Also, if you're interested, Steve's here tonight. Registration for our Jewish Learning Lab for students in transitional kindergarten through 12th grade is open. Parents, if you haven't received your registration packet, please contact Karma and please register your kids at your earliest convenience. Next Shabbat service will be led by Deborah Blender, Lori Maldonado, and Steve Schermerhorn. Come to Temple or tune into YouTube and support them. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Dave. And we are going to close with O Say Shalom. Number 2, Nava Tehillah.
And
favorite.
Let's get everybody out
Come
of
on,
their seats and
get up.
around
Come
the
on out
bima
here.
so that we can all sing together. Say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Oh, say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Ve'imru. Amen. One more. Ve'imru. Amen. Woo! Sorry. Okay.
And let's turn around and say good night and Shabbat Shalom to everyone who should have been here,
Shabbat
but they couldn't make it,
shalom.
and we understand. So we at least are glad that you signed in. And this was just the right number of people for us, as far as I'm concerned. So good night, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.
And
Oh,
those of you
Kiddush and
here,
Motzi.
don't go away
Wait,
yet.
don't go away. I'm glad somebody's watching. All right, short Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Oh, no, I'm not drinking that, sorry. Here, you can have a sip. Don't chug it, though. It's not good for you. All right, and let's see. This has got to be a Deborah special. Look at that. That's like, how many braids is that?
That's 6 strands.
And that is a special number.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
B'tei avon. Shabbat Shalom, and now we can say goodbye to all of you. We're going to eat, and you can have food at home. So
Would you do me a favor?
thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Oh, thank you.